Last week, China's Ministry of Civil Affairs announced the sixth batch of standardized geographical names for places in the Zhangnan region, known as Southern Tibet in English. A spokesperson of India's Ministry of External Affairs expressed opposition to China's naming of the disputed Arunachal Pradesh, believing this move is not conducive to the stability of bilateral relations. What is China's response?
The Zhangnan region, known as Southern Tibet in English, is Chinese territory. China has never recognized the so-called Arunachal Pradesh, illegally established by India. The Chinese government's standardization of some geographical names in the Zhangnan region is entirely within China's sovereign rights. At present, China-India relations are generally stable. China's policy of committing to improving and developing China-India relations remains unchanged. We hope that both sides will move toward each other and do something conducive to bilateral relations.
Data tracked by relevant monitoring agencies show that commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz has come to a standstill since the evening of Monday. What is China's comment on this?
Under the circumstances where relevant parties have already reached a temporary ceasefire arrangement, the U.S. increased military deployment and targeted blockade actions will only intensify contradictions, heighten tensions, undermine the already fragile ceasefire, and further impact the safety of navigation in the strait. This is dangerous and irresponsible behavior. China believes that only by achieving a comprehensive ceasefire and end of hostilities can conditions be fundamentally created to ease the situation in the strait. We urge all parties to abide by the ceasefire arrangement, focus on the overall direction of dialogue and negotiations, take concrete actions to promote de-escalation, and restore normal navigation in the strait as soon as possible.
U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said in an interview yesterday that it is now up to Iran to take the next step toward resuming talks. What does China believe should be the next step to promote an end to this war?
The current ceasefire situation is highly fragile, and the regional situation is at a critical stage. The top priority is to make every effort to prevent the resumption of hostilities and to maintain the hard-won ceasefire momentum. Relevant parties should abide by the temporary ceasefire arrangement and adhere to resolving disputes through political and diplomatic means. China will continue to work with the international community to promote peace talks and contribute to the early restoration of peace and stability in the Middle East. China has been adopting a prudent and responsible attitude in military exports, implementing strict controls in accordance with its export control laws and regulations and international obligations. The relevant reports are purely fabricated. If the U.S. insists on using this as a pretext to impose additional tariffs on China, China will take resolute countermeasures.
A U.S.-sanctioned oil tanker is currently leaving the Strait of Hormuz and signaling it has Chinese owners and crew. Does the Foreign Ministry have any comment on this situation? Can you confirm if the ship does indeed have any Chinese crew?
I'm not aware of the specifics you mentioned. What I want to stress is that only by achieving a ceasefire and cessation of hostilities and realizing peace and stability in the Gulf region can the safe and unimpeded passage of the Strait of Hormuz be ensured. China urges all sides to earnestly abide by the ceasefire arrangement, focus on the general direction of dialogue and peace talks, and take concrete actions to promote de-escalation and restore normal passage through the strait as soon as possible.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.